mindset to the test. I'm gonna ask you some great questions.
Let's go.
And hopefully,
When the heart speaks the truth from the memories of accomplished,
are you
you
ready?
have to remember.
What are some tips on growing on social media?
Well, social media becomes part of how responsible you are and transparent you are. I think that you have to be very unique and understanding that social media of today is not just expressing how you feel and who you are and what you want to sell as a product. Social media is actually an act of an extension of your wellness, an extension of your messages to people, or an extension of your company if you're selling a product or a service, right? But with so many limitations, like for instance, the algorithm of the different social media components, the manipulation of the reality and fact versus people's facades and personal agendas has caused that the social media could be a source of distraction or a source of wellness. So ways of building social media will be with interactions like this one, right? By talking to people, asking them questions, tagging them. I believe that commenting in people's social media, if you have the time, is important. I believe that following proper accounts that help you build your mindset, it's important. Don't be discouraged by not being responded or replied by. Most likely be encouraged by actually commenting, because many people will say, why is he commenting? Oh, I've seen this comment before. I've seen this account before, and they will follow you. And then if they like your social media, they'll stay with you. Remember, the algorithm, it's about 1 to 3% of your engagement, right? And the better your engagement, the more that you're going to be displayed. That's part of manipulating real data. But in the YouTube channel, it's about the quality of videos, the product, and the uniqueness of your communication, in addition to being able to share the video with some other figures that are more engaging than you. I believe it's a process of collaboration. It's the identity of your unique account with other people that have like minds, and their value is in the reality of people's interactions. So you may have millions of followers with non-interaction or very minimum interaction because they lost interest in you, or because the algorithm actually blocks you for whatever reason. There's a lot of shadow banning right now where they block your account because you went against the philosophy of the politics, or you went against whatever it is. So it's very responsible. It's not a neutral zone. It's not equal to and for everybody, and that's pretty sad. So you have to take advantage of the time that is allocated for proper social media management within the allowed, restricted, limited freedom of speech. I think that social media is actually a way of marketing your products, but it's also an extension of connecting to the people. It's a way of giving back. My social media, when you see it, is very well diversified. I'm a dentist. People know that I do what I do. But I'm also a father. I'm also a businessman. I also enjoy my life. I enjoy my cars, my bikes, my motorcycles, my traveling. I enjoy my friendship. I enjoy making people happy by helping them grow their businesses, by staying connected. At the end of the line, we take with us its relationships and the memories of the time invested with people. Anything else is going to be granted a given factor to the inheritance.
How do you deal with haters? How do you deal with negative people that might say one thing or another, and you got a great mindset and all? Like, how do you block that out and stay positive and everything?
Well, I always say that haters, it's a person that has a lot of desires to learn from you, yet they don't have the heart or the tenacity to be able to face their own weaknesses. And instead of telling you, how do you do this, or how do you do that, or how do you accomplish this, or how do you accomplish that, they will actually criticize, because it's the easiest way to negativity conquer their hearts. So, I mean, we've been, literally speaking, raised within the culture of loving and hate, as night and day, as cold and hot, right? But most people don't realize that hating is a distraction from focusing in your own capabilities of evolving, right? So if you don't evolve, you're gonna be stagnant, and you're gonna be stuck in a position that may be comfortable, feeling the negativity as normality. But when you are developing, you don't afford and you don't allow time for distraction. It hurts me to see minor hate. I've been blessed that hating around my life has been very minimal, because people see the reality of a gentleman that is always giving back. So disregarding of whether they may like or not like my saying, my acting, my writing, my family, or whatever, they're gonna always find much more and many more core values than the limitations. And that, I believe, is actually very valuable. How do you deal with hating online? By responding with love and God's graces. By not taking, but by either normally blocking them, eliminating them, or just facing directly. Look, I mean, if you want, I can teach you how to do this. If you want, I can show you how to do this. But what do you focus when there's a storm? In the probability that it'll go away, or in the probability that it will destroy everything in the way? I mean, you got to focus on what's going to be the solution. The solution is either move away from the storm, right? Or at one point, securing your property prior to the storm arriving. You can never predict the storm of hating, but you can always protect yourself from this type of behavior. There's people like that. So avoid the circles, avoid the places, or avoid socially putting public comments or socially putting any video or pictures that it's gonna attract disgrace.
What would you do to speed up the process? I guess obviously there's no rush to becoming successful, but like, what would you do to like speed up the process of like becoming successful and like getting things rolling?
I would actually, if I were to start from the beginning again, I would sleep less and I would work a little smarter by making sure that my solid job is done more efficiently, right? I would actually assure that if I have a delivery pattern, I would try to make that delivery pattern more predictable and more efficient, meaning faster delivery, not rushing, faster delivery, so that you actually eliminate sources of distraction from your road delivery. Then your YouTube channel, I will actually make sure that I'm not only showing the delivery of my product, but I'm also displaying it for sale. So you're gonna have to invest some money into portraying yourself and tagging the right people, the right areas, so that people will see what you do, and I will actually market myself as a YouTuber videographer, car enthusiast, and start talking about what you do, not just the photo, the video. Because when you talk about the car, everybody talks about the statistics, right? But few people talk about the experience. And you have the ability to actually enjoy experiences, and maybe we can do a joint collaboration, which is what we're gonna push you to do. That's one of the surprises. We're gonna have a high bar time for you to do a full documentary on everything that we have on the cars, so you can use it for your social media, build your platform, and you're gonna work so that we can actually make our videos through you. And you're gonna have that core for building a new clientele. And that's gonna work out to your advantage.
So say it again. I'll be able to.
You'll be able to work with my videography team, and we're gonna be able to record photo, videos, and everything else on our out and abouts. You're gonna be able to also work along with Raul, and be able to see what we do, how we do it, how they do it, and you're gonna begin to engage yourself in the ability to learn by listening, and then go back and to learn by looking at the courses and get a new skill that will support your trading knowledge with your investments into your videography company. So then somebody would actually be able to work with you and then for you to co-develop the company. And that's how companies start. Two real equal mindsets that are pushing together, or you'll be the employee or the employee. But by that, you need to have financial support.
What do you do when your back is against the wall? Like, let's say you're stressed out, you feel like everything's coming down on you, like, what do you do?
Well, number one, don't allow that to come to you. That's what I told you, prevention. Don't get this sore if you have not prepared your armor beforehand. And to do that, you have to be very honest to the people that surround you. And obviously, you have different levels of feeling like against the wall. Is it financial? Is it emotional? What is it? Physical? Nutritional? Whatever it is, everybody's gonna face it at one point. Decompress. Find a way to decompress. Just like you actually have an engine decompressor turbo power, you have a way to decompress by actually taking a walk, finding people that are happy surrounding you, go to a park and see kids running and jumping, walk at the beach, take photographs of stuff that you like, do something that you like to feel good, like taking picture of the birds flying over the lake, looking at the airplane and taking a picture of that. They analyze it. How is it that they're flying and I'm here? Can I reach up to you? Of course I gotta fly. It cost me $100, $200, $2,000. Don't matter. I wanna fly. I'm gonna go back to Houston and say, here you go, family. What's up?
Yo, $100,000, $1 million, help them out.
Always remember, they will be helped out if you help yourself. In order for the world to be good, you gotta be better. In order for your family to feel good and be supported, you need to self-support and be great. Everything starts with you, within you, for you.
Starts here.
Yeah, it starts within you, for you, and that's how you can actually share the pie. And when the pie is becoming empty, then you gotta close the faucet a little bit. You gotta close it until you're able to grind again. But that's why you have to have those allocated times and financials.
So, car question. What was your first supercar? What was your first like nice car you got in and you're like, okay, I spent a nice little check on it?
You know, it's funny because when I was 17, I sold one of my motorcycles and I co-developed the car that my dad gave me. It's actually a French car. It was a Renault 4. And when you look at the pictures, it was a 1-liter engine car with 4 gears. We converted it to a 1.6 with, your situation is about, injectors and there was no injectors at that time, so we had carburetors. So we had 4 carburetors on a 4-cylinder, so it was 1 car per cylinder. The car would do the quarter mile in about 11 seconds with weight and about almost 9.5 with no weight. The car was 1,200 pounds.
Oh wow, that's really
pure torque.
Yeah, that's like nothing.
4 gears. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's 1,200.
So that was and he had like Recaro Italian seats with air conditioning. I had Momo steering wheel. I had big fat 13 inches with like 185. It was just blue. One of my favorite colors, almost like the blue of the Porsche, the GT2 RS.
Yeah, the one you're driving today.
Yeah, so it was Renault 4. Anyways, but after that, when I moved to the state, my first nice car was a Nissan 280Z, CX, I'm sorry. Then I got a 300 CX, used obviously. And then when I actually got my dental certification, I actually bought a C3 BMW for my ex-wife, and I bought for myself a Mitsubishi 3000 GT. Both were red with black. That was the initiation of after grinding. I had a Chevrolet 4 doors. It was a Chevy Nova, and she had a Toyota herself. But we were independent. We were always working, and we had the commitment to our education as our first core of building the future, and it worked.
So you just kind of moved up, kind of step by step.
Step by step. My first investment was my education, and I took so many courses. Instead of buying a nicer car, I kept flying to take courses to advance my career before I graduated.
You learn.
And I was class president, student body association director. I represented my university for 4 years as a delegate for both students and the university, different societies. I was a Hispanic Dental Association president for 2 years. So I got involved a lot in giving. Remember what I told you, volunteer? When you volunteer your time, it's time that you're taking away from yourself and family. That makes you more efficient in life. Volunteer at church gives you purpose. Volunteer at a charity, it gives you sense of belonging to the fact of appreciation. Volunteering and giving back is as important as keeping.
I agree.
But you cannot keep more than what you volunteer, and you cannot volunteer more than what you're keeping. It's got to be balanced. You will find your own balance. We all do at one point.
All right, what do you think about crypto or NFTs? Or which one?
Well, I believe that the crypto NFT, which is the non-fungible tokens, as well as the digital metaverse, as well as the conventional stock market, the commodities, and any investment that you do, number one, you have to be very proficient at setting up realistic standards, limitations. You have to use your income that you are actually going to be able to allocate for growth that will not take away from your daily survival nor your future reserves. Everything will work as long as you understand the purpose and the time that it will take for you to be able to create the knowledge and set your risk reward parameters and how you see yourself investing money and the time that it will take for you to get your returns. I've been able to learn a little bit of everything. I've been able to incorporate into my portfolio investments into all the different environments, correct? But I've been able to also, as soon as I get profits, get the profits and convert it into a different asset. And that's very crucial, because when you convert assets, what you're doing is that you're actually securing from the intangible world of the digital investments to the tangible world of, say, real estate or the automobile industry or the actual cash reserves, and put more cash into the pocket, or holding it for all the type of investments.
So have you made any money on NFTs or crypto?
Of course, I was able to buy early enough NFTs from two of my artists. That money, I bought it in the pennies and it's now in the hundreds. So
oh wow! So
yeah, and I bought a lot of the same NFTs, and that worked pretty good. Again, with the crypto, when you buy at the negative 7 zeros and you make it grow to minus 3 zeros, 2 zeros, you're making money. The question is, how much money did you put in? If you put a few thousands, it's going to return you a few thousands as well. So everybody has different limits. If you put a few hundred, you're going to get a few thousands. And depending on the zero, depending on the return, right? But also, it also goes along with what's your limit in terms of, am I putting the money that I need to survive? So now that's not the capital that you want to use for trading. You need to have a fund reserve for trading. Same as with the stock market. You can put the stock market into the conventional funds, which are called mutual funds, and diversify your $1,000 into, say, 10 different mutual funds, and know that at least you're gonna get some type of security. But there's not a guarantee.
It's never a guarantee.
Never a guarantee in the stock market, nor in the NFTs, nor in the crypto, nor in the metaverse. I mean, again, my generation was building the foundation of solid ground, realistic, touchable, tangible assets. So for me to invest in the metaverse, it's going to be very challenging. So it all depends on where you're going with your life. I told one time some person, I said, look, you have patients, people in an area where the war has taken away their property. The only thing you hold on is to the land, unless the land is taken over by the invaders, right? But in the metaverse, the only people that can take away your land is actually hackers. So if you're not a computer expert and you don't have good parameters, and you put in all your pennies and your dollars into investing into the digital world, where there'll be crypto, somebody hacks your account, you're gonna have nothing to hold on to.
Yeah,
you have a ledger and you lose your ledger key, or you lose your actual ledger, you're gonna have a problem.
So you think the problem with most traders or investors in any of these markets is that they invest money that's like their all, instead of investing just a certain amount that they have set aside?
That's what I'm saying. Risk rewards. What are you risking for what type of rewards? So you want to risk the minimum to reward the most, correct? Look, let's put a number that is easy to accept. $10,000, right? It's a number that at one point anybody can use. If you're gonna invest $10,000 and you're gonna put the full risk into a risky trade or a risky portfolio, you may end up losing the whole $10,000 in one mistake. Well, perhaps you want to start investing from the 100 to 1,000. See the return. Maybe you build that $100 account to $1,000 account.
What's a dream car you never bought before? What's a car like you're still aiming for, you feel like?
Fact, I can honestly say that I have accomplished the cars at my financial ability that I wanted it, and at the right time that I wanted it. And now I am diversifying into a portfolio of automobiles that are an investment purpose for me, that I can enjoy. I see them, I love them, I ride them when I want to, I don't have to. But just the fact that I have them, it makes me feel very good, and it's an investment at the same time. And the fact that I know that it's going to be given back to my kids at the right times makes it more, enjoyable. All the cars that I would like to add to the portfolio are coming soon, but there's no rush. I have a good diversified portfolio of automobiles that it's enjoyable to ride and just